Today's podcast title, I Cannot Bring You With Me. Blessing the Chosen One. Welcome to day 7 of 30 Days Sovereign. Stay to the end of this important short transmission from Spirit for you because what arrived as a download this morning is going to give you sovereign permission to do what your empath heart has been resisting for far too long. This is not about religion. This is about the sovereign truth hidden inside the most generous prayers, the most loving intention, and the most loyal hearts that have been unknowingly delaying their own sovereign harvest. Day 7, 1 week of my sovereign reclamation complete. The body clearing, the field expanding, and the downloads are arriving faster than they can be documented. This morning's download arrived with sovereign urgency. 6 words. I cannot bring you with me. Not I will not bring you, not I choose not to bring you. I cannot. Because where Source is calling the chosen one, not everyone is clear to enter. Not everyone is calibrated to hold the frequency of what is being built. And the empath heart that loves everyone, wants everyone to come, is the very heart that has been unknowingly contracting the sovereign path by insisting on bringing what or who Source determine will stay behind. Here is what I heard from a creator recently, a powerful prayer, sovereign in its intention until the final declaration. They prayed, "Bless me, Source, and when my blessings come, make sure they are also a blessing for my family. Bless me and bless them. Do not bless one without the other." That prayer sounds like love, right? It sounds like generosity. It sounds like the heart of a true empath who cannot receive without ensuring everyone they love receives too. But here is what that prayer is actually declaring to the field. It is saying, Source, you are only willing to receive your harvest if you are also ready to bring my family into the same frequency. And if they are not ready, then you are willing to wait. If they're not holding the same frequency as you are willing to delay your sovereign harvest until everyone you love is also ready to receive theirs. That is not generosity. That is a contraction instruction for delay, a declaration to the field dressed as a blessing. That is the empath making their sovereign expansion conditional on everyone else's willingness to expand, on everyone else's willingness to hold the same frequency as they do. And the field honors that condition. It waits, it delays, it blocks your blessing if ready, but they are not in the same frequency of readiness because you told it to. The childhood lie is you cannot go where others cannot follow. So you stayed at the contracted ceiling of the people you love because leaving them behind feels like betrayal, not sovereignty. And it gets deeper. If you love them, you would bring them with you. So you kept pulling at people who were not yet ready, pouring your sovereign energy into waking up those who chose to stay asleep. Because the programming said, real love waits. And the toxic version of the lie is this: your blessing means nothing if they are not blessed too. No one left behind. So you made your sovereign expansion conditional on theirs, and you wonder why the harvest kept getting delayed. But you are breaking that lie today because many are called, but few are chosen. Not because Source is withholding the calling from anyone, but because being chosen requires choosing yourself, and not everyone is willing to make that choice. Cycle breakers, kings and queens. For empaths, you have been carrying people across thresholds they were not yet ready to cross themselves, exhausting your field, pulling weight that was never yours to carry forward. For black sheep, you have been staying at the table of people who cannot receive what you carry because leaving felt like abandoning the people you love most. For narcissists, targets, and survivors, you've stayed long past the exit point because you could not bring yourself to move forward while they remain in the pattern. You kept thinking one more conversation, one more chance, one more act of love wake them, that might finally wake them up. For fire signs, you have been dimming your fire to stay within the temperature that others around you could handle, because expanding fully meant leaving behind the room that could only hold a dim version of your frequency. And let me say it the way the sovereign understands it. You cannot bring someone who is not ready to be brought. You can lead a horse to the water, you cannot make him drink it. You can love them from a distance. You can leave the door unlocked behind you, but you cannot carry them across the threshold of a sovereign expansion they have not yet chosen for themselves. And every day you delay your harvest waiting for them to be ready is a day Source is waiting for you to choose yourself completely. Kings and queens, this is what it looks like when a chosen one releases the conditional blessing and receives what is already sovereignly prepared. Remember, subscribe, follow, share this transmission with the chosen one who is ready to hear it, and comment below to confirm the transmission from Spirit landed. Cycle breakers, empath, narcissist survivors, black sheep, fire sign warriors, kings, and queens. Here's what Spirit delivered through me to reclaim your crown and sovereignty. You are chosen, and the harvest Source is preparing for you is not conditional on anyone else's readiness to receive theirs. You choosing yourself is not abandonment. It is the sovereign act that makes everything else possible. In Chapter 1, the Earth School Lesson Plan, the beginning, you kept making your expansion conditional, kept praying, bless me and them, kept staying at contracting ceiling to keep the people you love company, kept pouring sovereign energy into waking up those who chose to stay asleep. And the Hurt School lesson is this: you cannot give away an inheritance you have not yet received, and you will not receive what you have made conditional on everyone else's readiness. The conditional blessing you put out is the delay. In Chapter 2, you choose the ending. When you surrender to Source, when you release the conditions, when you declare, bless me, Source, I am ready, I am prepared. I receive what is already mine without conditions, without waiting for everyone else to be ready simultaneously. You don't just get peace, you get harvest. You reclaim your crown and walk through sovereign thresholds, knowing that your expansion is the greatest gift you could ever give to everyone you love. Because a sovereign chosen one in full expansion lights the path for everyone who chooses to follow. You step into birthright inheritance, not because you left people behind, but because Source called you forward and you finally chose to go. Many bypassers make the conditional declaration, bless me and bless them. I cannot go if they cannot come. I will wait until everyone is ready, staying at the contracted ceiling of the people they love, calling it loyalty, while Source is waiting for them to choose themselves first. So they stay in bridge environments past the sovereign completion date, pouring wisdom into vessels that have chosen not to receive, and wondering why the harvest is delayed. Real cycle breakers show up anyway, imperfect, consistent, sovereign. They release the conditional blessing. They declare, Source, thank you for my blessing. I am ready, I receive. They love the people they cannot bring without making that love the ceiling of their sovereign expansion. They leave the door unlocked behind them and trust Source with everyone they had to release to move forward. They model the leaving so the next chosen one sees that choosing yourself is not abandonment. It is most, the most sovereign act of love available. Real cycle breakers do not just leave, they launch. They do not just release the conditional, they receive unconditionally. They get clarity. Not everyone is coming, and know that is sovereign. They get harvest, the blessing that was waiting on the other side of the conditional finally lands. They move from delaying their sovereign expansion out of love for others into expanding fully and unfolding as the sovereign lighthouse that makes the path visible for everyone who chooses to follow. You choose the conditional cycle where you keep making your harvest dependent on everyone else's readiness, keep staying at contracted ceilings out of love, keep pouring wisdom into vessels that have chosen not to receive, or sovereignty, where you release the conditions, receive your harvest unconditionally, and trust Source with everyone you had to leave at the threshold. When your crown is restored, your abundance blueprints activate. Release activates. The conditional blessing is dissolved. You receive without waiting. Harvest activates. What Source has prepared is finally delivered to a vessel that received without condition. Lighthouse activates. Your full sovereign expansion becomes the path others see and choose to follow in their own sovereign timing. That is throne ready. Day 7, 1 week of my sovereign reclamation. The bridge has served its sovereign purpose. The people it was shared with have shown who they are, and the chosen one is moving forward. Not because they do not love who they are leaving, but because Source is calling them towards something greater. And what is ahead cannot be entered while still carrying what source already left behind. I cannot bring you with me, and that is sovereign. Remember who you are, chosen one. Your kingdom awaits. Let's reign together, crown tribe.